Now on KOAM News, the Spiva Center for the Arts holds its annual National Photography Competition and Exhibition. Plus, dancers from all over the area show off their skills at a competition in Pittsburgh. And Joplin Greenhouse and Coffee Shop kicks off the first night of its Cardboard Cafe events.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Law officers are investigating the discovery of human remains in southeast Kansas. This is a late edition of KOAM News. I'm Dow Quick. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation says hunters found human skeletal remains south of Coyville in rural Wilson County yesterday evening. The remains were in a pasture near Decatur Road. The Sheriff's Department, the KBI, and the crime scene response team are working on the case. Investigators don't yet know who the person is. An autopsy is scheduled. The Aurora Marionville, Missouri Police Department is using new grant money to have more officers watching for people driving under the influence. Reporter Michael Hoffman has more on how that funding is allocated.
They come in on their day off or their night off to earn extra income and go enforce nothing but DWI law.
Chief Wes Coatney says grants like these are helpful in catching people driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs.
It's a reimbursement grant. So when we use overtime to have an officer go out and work these enforcement grants, that grant reimburses the city or the agency for the overtime spent doing those enforcement activities.
The grant work kicked off this morning when police arrested a man they say was on both marijuana and meth when they stopped him. It was the second methamphetamine-related arrest in Aurora Marionville in the last 24 hours. Chief Coatney says meth in southwest Missouri is commonly found in these types of stops.
In Aurora Marionville, we see a lot of methamphetamine, but it's really geography based. I mean, you may go to other cities, bigger cities in Missouri, and see an increase in things like heroin or things like cocaine or so methamphetamine just happens to be popular in southwest Missouri.
Nancy Brown lives in Aurora and says it's a fantastic idea.
I've been sober for 20 years. I see the damage that it does to people, to families, to neighborhoods, same things with drugs. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of people that don't know where to go to for help.
Brown says driving under the influence can change someone's life forever.
No, if you're lucky, if you're out there driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs, if you're lucky, you'll only kill yourself. But a lot of times that doesn't happen. A lot of times it takes innocent people.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a much colder day for us today. Temperatures, they didn't get into the 60s like we have seen really all week long. Temperatures today only 47. Average high is 60 degrees. We started at 27 degrees, and it's going to get even colder as we head into the weekend. Tomorrow, we're not even going to get out of the 30s for afternoon highs. All right, we've had a few little clouds kind of skirting through. We had a few little snow showers to our north, but in general, we look fine. It's still kind of windy though, so this makes it feel a little bit colder than what it actually is. These are going to continue to back down a little bit more for us as we go through the overnight hours. Into the morning hours, look at this. We dropped to 24 degrees. We do start the day with sunshine. It's just going to be a very chilly one as we go into the weekend. We also have more thunderstorms in the forecast, actually 2 chances for us next week. So we're going to break that all down for you here in just a bit.
See you soon. McCarthy's Sports Bar in Pittsburgh is one of a lot of places that took the week to get ready for what they hope to be a lucky night. Local sports bars are taking a shot on March Madness and St. Patrick's Day, which in this case happens to be on a Friday. It's a big investment in staff, food, and drinks, so a lot is riding on a successful double Madness night.
It's our busiest day. It's kind of like our Christmas season. St. Patty's Day is. It's a lot to put together, and this year we're doing 2 days. We're going to do a whole weekend, Friday and Saturday both. We have people that show up at the early games, 11 o'clock, and they'll stay till closing time tonight.
McCarthy's also has a cornhole competition tomorrow as well. On this St. Patrick's Day, elementary students in McDonald County, Missouri donned their best. Pineville Elementary hosted Elegant Day for its younger students. Those kids came to school wearing fancy dresses and shirts and ties and other elegant clothes. They also had high tea with special snacks. The day's focused on teaching the students manners. While those students got fancy, other McDonald County students got their hands dirty. Students at Rocky Comfort Elementary planted almost 10,000 seedlings for their greenhouse project. Students set up tables in the cafeteria and filled planting trays with soil before adding in the seedlings. They'll maintain them over the next several weeks and then put them up for sale to the public at the school's annual plant sale.
It's not really challenging, it's just more fun. Some days are more challenging than others, like making the cuttings, but most of all it's just really fun. It's a really nice experience getting to learn all this stuff.
Money raised from the sale goes to help with the school improvement projects. The Spiva Center for the Arts today opened their annual Photo Spiva exhibit and competition to the public. The competition featured the photography work of artists from all around the world. Photo Spiva winners were presented cash awards for their work.
So they have the opportunity to put something on the wall, to have this many people come, stand in front of it, enjoy it, think about it, poke at it, whatever, it's an honor. It feels really good.
The Spiva Center's next event is going to be a flower exhibit called Spiva in Bloom. That exhibit opens on March 23rd. Area dance teams gathered in Pittsburgh today for a regional competition. The Talent on Parade event features 26 teams from Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma. While there will be an overall winner announced, there are also awards for top entertainer and most photogenic.
It's all about teamwork. I like to think of my studio as a family, so it's always about how the family works as a unit, making sure everyone's being seen or heard and working together. I try to make sure all my dancers feel the love and that they can also put the love that they feel for dance out on the floor.
I really like going.
Competition is going to run through Sunday. Joplin Greenhouse and Coffee Shop is hosting back-to-back cardboard cafe events. It's a chance for people to enjoy some company while having a game night. The cafe has more than 300 board games, food, and drinks. Every entry into the event includes a ticket into a raffle for a free board game.
They say the communication's up to 80% nonverbal. And so you see all those nuances between, when your buddy makes a terrible move and you're about to take advantage of it or something. So I think that's part of it, and it really is like a place for community and board games, and it's cool to just meet so many different people.
They're going to hold a TED Talk on the MSSU campus in May on the topic of connectivity. Coming up, how the Biden administration is looking to create harsher penalties against banking executives. Plus, the International Criminal Court charges Russian President Vladimir Putin. Americans have a growing concern about their bank accounts as a third regional bank is bailed out. This time it was the banks themselves that stepped in to shore up First Republic. Following that rescue, President Biden today called on Congress to pass tough new penalties on executives of failed banks. The administration says it wants to expand the FDIC's ability to get back compensation from executives who lead failed banks. It also wants to be able to bar them from holding future jobs in the industry and to impose civil fines against them. Swiss bank Credit Suisse says it'll borrow up to $54 billion from the European Central Bank to shore up its finances. The bank's stock plunged Wednesday in the wake of two banks collapsing in the U.S., losing more than a quarter of their value. Credit Suisse saying the additional liquidity will support the bank's core businesses and clients. The International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant against Russian President Vladimir Putin, accusing him of being responsible for war crimes committed against Ukrainian children taken over the Russian border. Russia has repeatedly denied the accusations, and it does not recognize the ICC's jurisdiction. Astrid Martinez reports.
The International Criminal Court has issued a warrant for the arrest of Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Hague-based court says Putin is allegedly responsible for the war crime of unlawful deportation of children from occupied areas of Ukraine to the Russian Federation. The ICC judges also issued a warrant against Russia's Commissioner for Children's Rights, accusing her of similar crimes.
The judges have reviewed the information and evidence submitted by the prosecutor and determined that there are credible allegations against these persons for the alleged crimes.
The court's president said it will be up to the international community to enforce the warrants, which is not likely. Moscow has denied the accusations and dismissed the move, while Ukraine welcomed it as a major breakthrough. Earlier this week, an unmanned U.S. drone crashed into the Black Sea after a mid-air confrontation with Russian fighter jets. Nora O'Donnell spoke with the Navy's top officer for 60 minutes this Sunday.
What happened with that drone over the Black Sea was unsafe, and it was unprofessional, and it was in violation of international law.
Against that backdrop, Chinese President Xi plans to visit Moscow for the first time since Russia invaded Ukraine. The U.S. has expressed concern China is considering providing lethal aid to Russia. Poland and Slovakia, meanwhile, have committed to sending fighter jets to Kyiv, the first time NATO allies have agreed to provide jets to help Ukraine defend itself against Russia. Astrid Martinez, CBS News.
CBS News has learned the U.S. is reassessing its drone operations over the Black Sea and whether the intelligence collection is worth the risk of escalation. Doug returns next with his complete forecast, and a little bit later, the Carl Junction girls basketball team looks to advance to the state championship as they take on Notre Dame.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a much colder day for us today. We only made it up into the 40s for afternoon highs after we've seen 60s over the past several days. The parking lot indigo sky starting to fill up. It's Friday night, St. Patrick's Day. Hope you've had a great one. Also, these guys have been returning. The wonderful allergies, and they're only going to get worse as we go through the spring. So on a scale of 1 to 10, today's a 7, tomorrow's a 7. So these are actually going to stay fairly high as we go into the weekend. So if you are an allergy sufferer, I apologize, but those guys are going to start to go up. All right, 38 in Nevada, 41 in Grove, 40 in Parsons. Temperatures are going to continue to drop as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight, eventually into the 20s. At least the winds are starting to calm down a little bit. It's been so windy over the past couple days. Our future wind gusts, they're going to pick up a little bit again for us tomorrow. Still northwesterly winds gusting at about 20, but not near as strong as what we have seen over the past couple days. All right, our new drought tracker is out. It keeps getting better, which is great. Look at this. All of southwestern Missouri is fine. Still on the Kansas side, especially our western counties, a pretty severe drought, but at least we are looking better as a whole compared to what we have seen really over the past year. Had a few clouds kind of skirting through, even a few light little snow showers, mainly northern parts of Missouri behind the big storm system that rolled through yesterday. And if you look out toward the west, not a whole bunch going on. That means our weather is pretty calm as we go through the next few days. Let's go through time. We're going to stop tomorrow morning. Look at this, mid-20s. So a cold start. We're going to have mostly sunny skies. We'll have a few more clouds in our northern counties. By noon, only into lower 30s. During the afternoon, we only get into the mid to upper 30s for highs. So it's going to be pretty cold, especially for the second half of March. And then check this out. Tomorrow night, we'll go down into the mid to upper teens, so a hard freeze across the region. As we go into Sunday afternoon, a little bit better. We get back into the 40s, but this is not a great weekend to do any outdoor activities. It's going to be pretty chilly. It's good we can stay in and watch some March Madness basketball Saturday and Sunday. And then we go back down again once we head into Monday morning. Here's your day planner tomorrow. Finally get into the 30s by the noon hour, make it up into the upper 30s. We're going to have plenty of sunshine across the region, just again on the cold side. We do start to warm things back up a bit. As we go into next week, we are going to have some showers on Tuesday. So this is our next system. It's not a big system. It pushes on by. Stronger system moves out by Thursday. This is going to drag in a cold front. We're going to get, look at the temps, into the 70s, but showers and thunderstorms. Now, some of those storms could be strong, possibly severe. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on this as we get into next Thursday and Friday. 38, that's it for us tomorrow. 18 tomorrow night, 42 on Sunday, 53 on Monday. And then as we go through next week, we do start to warm up. 72 Wednesday, 73 on Thursday, with those thunderstorm chances back in Thursday into Friday morning.
Doug, thanks. Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about today's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. You can get severe weather updates sent straight to your phones free of charge. It's available in the app store of your choice. Check out the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Still ahead, the Carl Junction girls basketball team aims to move on to the state championship game. And another dominant performance from Pitt State pitcher Zach Shoemaker. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
Well, tonight is a big night for the Carl Junction High School girls basketball team. CJ faces the Notre Dame Bulldogs out of Cape Girardeau this evening in the Class 5 state semifinals in Springfield. The winner of this one moves on to play for the state title tomorrow night. It was a defensive battle, but CJ wins it 37-33. Kylie Scott scores 14, while Desi Williams adds 11. Carl Junction now moves on to play tomorrow night the Class 5 state championship.
It mean a lot for us to be able to get another our only state title in Carl Junction history. I think Destiny hit the nail on the head there with our kids in 2020. We felt like we had a good shot that year, and to get the season taken away by COVID and a lot of things that had happened that year, it hurts, it stings. So to get back here feels good, and it's a long season, and our kids fight through a lot of sickness and become pretty tough. So I'm really proud of them tonight.
Well, Pittsburgh State baseball opens a 3-game series at home this afternoon against the Northeastern State Riverhawks. The Gorillas enter the day at 7-3 in the MIAA, sitting in 4th place in the conference. Pitt State trying for their 7th win in the last 8 games. We'll pick it up first inning. Carson Coffey, liner into center. Austin Warkins scores. Nixon Brandon right behind him. Gorillas get 3 in the first. Now to the 4th inning. Brandon up to bat, goes opposite field, right into the corner. Hops over the fence. Brett Daly scores on the ground rule double. Pittsburgh State scores the first 9 runs of the game. Now on the mound for the Gorillas, another big-time outing for Zach Shoemaker. He goes 6 shutout innings, racks up 12 strikeouts. Gorillas go on to win it 11-7, and Shoemaker now 6-0 on the mound to begin the season.
You know exactly what you're going to get out of Shu every day. You know, Zach goes out there and competes and gives us an opportunity to win a baseball game every time we hand him the baseball. Just wish you had 3 of him.
My fastball was working really well early. I was able to place pretty much the whole game, put it where I wanted, and then Nixon did a great job mixing in the proper breaking balls whenever we need it. That was on.
We don't ever want to take him out, but he's trying to keep his pitch count right so he can be healthy in the end. And I think that's his 7th start. One was only for an inning because of weather, but every time he walks out there, he gives us an opportunity to win a baseball game.
In Topeka, a huge series this weekend between Missouri Southern and Washburn. Ichabods are in 1st place in the MIAA. Southern right behind them in 2nd. Game 1 tonight, Missouri Southern wins it 4-1. Nate Miskowski goes 3 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Cole Woods throws 7 innings, allowing just 1 run with 6 strikeouts. Well, today's the opening day of the season for both the Webb City Cardinals and Joplin Eagles. Webb City's up first, kicking off their schedule at home against the Bishop McGuinness Fighting Irish. The Cards aiming for a big year after a district title and an appearance in the state quarterfinals last season. First things first, though, today's game, bottom of the 5th. Bishop McGuinness up 4-0 until William Hayes goes opposite field. Sam Weller scores. It's a 4-1 game. Later in the inning, Cy Darnell comes up with runners on. Miscommunication out there in the outfield or something allows Gabe Chapman to score. Webb City cuts the lead in half. It's 4-2, but that's all they got tonight. The Cardinals fall in their opener today, 4-2. Right after that, the Joplin Eagles face Bishop McGuinness in Webb City for their first game of the year. Bishop McGuinness was up 2-0 over the Eagles. Well, the Irish ran out of luck in the 4th. Leighton Kofer goes opposite field into the gap. That gets Justin McReynolds to score easily. Kofer gets the RBI triple out of it. Joplin on the board. It's a 2-1 game. Later in the same inning, Landon Maples puts this one in play. Infield single allows Kofer to score. Now we got a ball game. It's tied up at 2. Now still in the 4th, Byler Reether hits a sharp line drive into left. Eagles now have their first lead of the day. It's 3-2 Joplin, but Bishop McGuinness got that lead back late. And they would hold on to it. Joplin falls just short in their opener, 4-3. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are one of the hottest softball teams in the MIAA right now. The Gorillas have won 13 of their last 15 games after sweeping a doubleheader from Lincoln on Monday. Pitt State back home today with a pair of non-conference games against Winona State. Game 1, first inning, Paxton Hayes goes opposite field, all the way to the wall out there. Heather Arnett scores from second to make it 1-0 Gorillas. RBI double for Hayes. Couple batters later, Gabby Schultz pokes it out to right center. That bounces all the way to the wall. Hayes comes in, Schultz all the way to third for the triple. It's 2-0 Pitt State after 1. Now to the fourth, same score, Kiana Pellegrino. Back up the middle, Schultz comes in from third. Gorillas go up 3-0. And that was plenty today. Pitt State pitcher Hannah Harrison, great the whole way through. She allows just 1 hit in 7 innings with 5 strikeouts. Gorillas take game 1 over the Warriors 3-0. So in game 2, Gorillas try for the doubleheader sweep today, but the Warriors come back and take that one 4-1. Gabby Schultz goes 2 for 3 in that one with a double and the lone RBI of the game for Pittsburgh State. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news right after this.
A home inspector in North Carolina had this wild encounter in a home's attic. Dean Brown is a code enforcement official for New Hanover County. And while he was doing an inspection at a 3-story new construction home, he saw this. You see it there. It's a large alligator, just, hanging out by the air conditioner. First, Brown thought it was a stuffed animal, but that idea went away when that supposed stuffed animal started to move. Brown then called animal control, who captured the real live gator. They still don't know how that alligator got inside the home. Thanks for joining us this late Friday night. We're going to leave you with video of a 15-year-old bagpipe player in Frontenac, Kansas. Let's make it a great weekend.